Washington needed a win on Friday in Detroit to stay alive. Truth be told, they would have needed to finish out winning their remaining 4 games, including that Pistons game. And they would have also needed the Pistons to lose out. Any one win by Detroit or one loss by Washington would have finished them off, and they lost to the Pistons. So they are out of the playoffs after last year, getting to the second round, and by all accounts being very, very close to one of the final 2 teams in the Eastern Conference Finals. Had John Wall not broken his hand, many people thought they would have beaten Atlanta and headed to the finals, but that didn't happen, and they were out against Atlanta in 6 games. Walker down court, waits, and scores. Kemba Walker, 15th in the NBA in scoring. He's averaging just better than 21 points a game. And this is 5th year from UConn. Finished the game with 29 to lead the Wizards in scoring. Down low for Morris, who goes off the glass and scores.
They like to throw those lob passes, especially when the defense is trying to front, like you saw from Marvin Williams.
Again, Marvin tries, and this time he knocks it in. Again, they kick it out to Williams, who drives, and it won't count. Offensive foul will be called on Marvin Williams.
Well, that's 2, one by Markieff and that one by Rahman, where it looked like they had easy point-blank shots.
Easy point-blank shot for Cody Zeller, who knocks it down in his 3rd year from Indiana, averaging about 9 points and 6 rebounds a game.
Perfect position. Washington with 6 more field goal attempts. And that's due to the 5 turnovers committed by the Hornets, as well as 3 offensive rebounds. One of them, those second chance points that we showed you.
Whistle, foul called. Gortat with Jefferson on him now, and the Wizards turn it over. Jeremy Lin in the game for Charlotte. Batum, pretty give and go with Kaminsky, and he scores with a foul. Markieff Morris knocks down the shot. Washington by 3. Lin, good hands by Porter to knock it away, but Lin gets it back. Marcus Thornton in the game for Washington as well, and a tough shot by Nick Batum.
So important to have that balance when you go up, because there is some hand checking, even though it's not allowed. Good job disrupting on 2 different occasions the pick and roll. Gortat's been very active.
Jefferson turns and hits. That's what he does. He is so good at that, and this is 12th year in the league. And here's Lin. He spots up for 3.
Good timing on that split created the opening.
1 minute to play, first quarter. Kaminsky spins on Morris, who blocks the shot, and a foul is called by Scott Foster. Blocking foul on Markieff Morris. That's his 2nd.
Yeah, getting to your point, Buck, it also kind of shows the development and of that identity for this team. Kemba Walker with that lead role as a scorer, but more importantly, they've got some players coming off the bench. Jeremy Lin, we talked about Kaminsky, and now Al Jefferson filling in that role coming off the bench. I thought Nicholas Batum was always a good pickup for them. So, I mean, they've got 7, 8, 9 players deep, and all those guys have been contributing for them during that stretch.
Thornton trying to pick up a foul, none called. So no harm, no foul. Here's Daniels, and he knocks it down. And he had a big game in their last victory over Brooklyn on Friday night. Kicks it out to Kaminsky for an open 3 that's good.
You know, he still has a lot to offer. A lot depends on if he wants to continue playing. He's had some health issues over the years, including that 1 year in Denver where he sat out the whole year.
Yeah, he had testicular cancer in Denver and made a terrific comeback from that. Anderson for Temple. Lin. Kaminsky got fouled, and it'll be Charlotte ball.
Just amazing how much more range player had players today have than years ago.
Walker gets a screen. They go underneath. Good pass and an easy 2 for Cody Zeller. Pretty play. Law is able to fend off the Washington defender. Well, these are the teams that are still eligible but have not clinched a postseason berth. The Chicago Bulls hanging by a thread. And the Pacers win tonight against the Nets would eliminate them.
The Bulls are in the same position we were in that Detroit. A loss by them or a win by Indiana, they're out.
Marvin Williams knocks down to 3, averaging about 11.5 points a game. Chris Miller, what are your thoughts?
Well, it's good to see 5 guys are returning now. On the opposite side of that is this is going to be a really different looking squad next year for those guys who are coming off the bench. Now, we do know that the salary cap will increase by a lot, so I'll be interested to see how the Wizards attack this offseason. Obviously, I said earlier about this Charlotte team, they improved their three-point shooting. I'm interested to see where the Wizards want to see their improvement from this year going into this summer. Is it three-point shooting? Is it getting back to the defensive standard? If they want to continue with this pace and space, because if that's the case, you've got to get guys like you were seeing with this Hornets team that can stretch the floor.
Wizards now have 7. Kemba Walker with a fake, the drive. He's fouled by Gortat. He'll shoot 2. Walker gets a couple of free throws. It's a 5-point Washington lead, and that will be turnover number 3 in a row for the Wizards.
That pass took far too long to take. He was open, but only for a split second.
That's nothing new. Sessions started for Wall last year when Wall broke his hand in that playoff series against Atlanta. Walker off balance, pretty shot.
Starting to pick it up now. That was a real quick release by Walker.
Gortat gets away with a little push. Can't get it back, and the Wizards commit yet another turnover. Courtney Lee spots up for 3. Followed by Marvin Williams. And the Hornets have tied the game at 57. When you see the 2 of them standing next to each other, it is nearly impossible to tell the difference.
I understand why they're identical twins, both on the court. Certainly they look identical.
And then back in 2016 of March, doctors told him that the cancer had returned. So again, many of my colleagues went to social media and put out their best Sager fashion, if you will. And you can see many of the sideline reporters across the league sending out their shout outs with the hashtag sideline for Craig. I know I speak for all of the rest of the sideline reporters around the league, wishing Craig a speedy recovery. 64 years old. Guys, he has been a staple on the sidelines with some of the best, well, I would say some of the most interesting clothes you would see on TV. We want to send him the very best. By the way, guys, on an injury note, Bradley Beal is out for the rest of the game. He re-injured his pelvis.
Yeah, you have to go back to 2012 to find the last time the Wizards didn't start a half with both Wall and Beal, one or the other, on the court at the same time.
Yeah.
And you know why she's always working on their broadcast, but who's conspicuous by his absence is Del Curry, the father of a guy named Steph Curry.
I've heard of him.
And another guy named Seth Curry.
But I think throughout this season in the very low 30s. And like I said, he has the range to do that. He's just got to practice that and get a little bit more efficient with it.
Lynn gives it up to Zeller. They look to reset with 7 to shoot.
Yeah.
Good pass for Nicholas Batum on the baseline, and he scores.
Always got to be aware of that shot clock. You pressured them. Cody Zeller picked up his dribble. Shot clock was down to 3 or 4 seconds, and then you give up an open shot.
And now Scott Foster has a technical foul on Washington. It's on Markieff Morris.
Yeah.
So Markieff Morris, who was 5th in the league last year in fouls committed, 245 of them, 49 times this season. The only team that's had at least 10 in more games than Charlotte is Golden State, who's done it 64 times. A lot of contact. A couple of offensive rebounds by Marvin Williams and the putback.
And that's where Marvin Williams has made the difference. Really an undersized 4 player, but he plays with so much heart and energy. And you can see what I'm talking about on that last play.
Hornets made 14 of 37 threes in their win over Brooklyn. Here's Courtney Lee, and he gets one there. That gives them 9 for the game.
Good action on the weak side. First of all, you had that strong side play where Dudley was trying to get the pick and roll going, but then good ball movement, swung it to the other side.
A 12-0 Washington run, and Dudley called for a foul holding Kaminsky. 4-second difference between the clocks. Lynn trying to get past Nene, and they'll call a foul. Nene got him with a body right to the jaw. And he's checking to see if he still has teeth. Wizards will be in Brooklyn tomorrow night and then back here to play Atlanta on Wednesday night. The Charlotte team will be at Boston tomorrow night and home versus Orlando on Wednesday. Al Jefferson creates some contact. He is fouled. He'll go to the line for 2. Nene feeling Jefferson. Tough baseline shot. He missed that. Rebound Kaminsky. Walker drives, looking for contact, and he gets the call.
Those 59 blocks, second among all guards. But yeah, I mean, it got to the point this year where, I mean, you pretty much penciled him in for 10 or more assists. Just seemed like he was that dialed in to setting up teammates.
Nene with 2. He's going to have to shoot. He gets it away, and it's no good. Three ball going up and off the side of the iron for Marcus Thornton. Walker with a nice pass to Jefferson, and he scores. Wizards push their lead back up to 9.
Man, good job on that pick and roll. They disrupt it and leads to the turnover.
And the Thornton 3. Timeout Charlotte. Marcus Thornton stops, pops, and connects, and lead by 12 with 5:20 to play in regulation. Steve Buckhantz, Phil Chenier, Chris Miller, our statistician Paul Evans, our stage manager Lori Green, and our CSN crew. And a foul is called on Marcus Thornton as their season winds down, regular season. Nicholas Batum catches and scores a 3. Instead of shooting with that right hand, Phil, which is difficult to do when...
Well, I liked it because he crossed over right in front of the defender. 9 times out of 10, you get that foul call. So I like that move by Kelly.
Kaminsky with a fake. Gets around Oubre, drives, and Gortat hammers him. And Kaminsky will go to the line for 2, a 73% shooter. 1 minute to play here in regulation. Looks like the Wizards are indeed headed for win number 39. They need to win the next 2 to finish 500 on the year. Would make their record 41-41, but they were eliminated from playoff contention on Friday in Detroit. Look at our Honda drive of the game and go back about 30 seconds ago to the rookie. And the Wizards will even the season series with Charlotte at 2-2. Gutierrez on the drive. He's fouled. He'll get a couple more free throws. So the Wizards will hang on and win this game 113-98. And since they scored over 100 points and won the game, you will get 50% off any online order tomorrow.